You know, I surprisingly don't regret trying to make a game, but I do regret trying to use Unity because it's absolutely worthless. I've tried to use it, but I have no idea how to use it. I seriously, I have no idea how to make a horror game in this engine. I can't even get the monster AI to work. How? What? I have no idea what I'm doing. I can't even get lighting to work or anything. How do people get this stupid system to work? I'm not even joking with this. Seriously, I'm completely burned out of Unity, and this is all I have left to show. And not to even talk about how I got here and how I need stuff I didn't know I needed at the time, but at least I have models. Okay, to show you my slow descent into insanity, I'll show you the models in order. This will show you how insane I went. Starting off, we got Shloomy, a blue slime model with a sword and arrow in it. It was actually pretty simple to do, but this is where the madness started. All from this stupid model. You know, when I finished it, I thought, hey, maybe it'd be a cool idea to, you know, make an outline around the model. Not like the cartoony outline, I mean an actual outline with the polygons, which was a mistake because I have to try to keep consistent between every single model, and you'll see how insane that gets. Anyway, the only kind of hard part was the arrow. The rest was kind of easy. It didn't take me too long. It took me like maybe half a day to make. Anyway, next off we have the worst one. This took 3 days. 3 days to make this model, which by the name's Woolgum. And this was a horrible idea for a second model because just look at it. It has bones and arms, and especially that right arm or left arm, whatever, the long one, it kept breaking and the textures kept disappearing. So it was a really annoying model to make, and for it to be my second model in this game was a horrible idea. But it works, kind of. I mean, I'm glad I have this as a model, but it's gonna be really complicated, especially annoying to actually get moving, if it ever moves. Anyway, on to the next one. Boulder Coon. It's just a rock with an ubu face and a bow, but to be honest, it's supposed to roll at you. Yeah, this model took like maybe a day or two, I'm not really sure, but it took a bit, mostly because of the bones and how annoying it was, but it wasn't too bad. It's also based off of like Truck Coon, if you know what that means. Probably you don't if you're not if you weren't as into the anime space as I used to be. Oh, I have to change some things. Anyway, let's move on to let's move off of this very simple model. Okay, this model isn't really going to be a monster, but it's more of a reference. This took like 1 day, mostly because I didn't have to put any bones in this one, so it was way easier to make. It's also a reference to my first model. Well, my first model with bones, Strappy. You know, the model I was actually going to use in the game, but it's way too bad. It doesn't really work well. Now they know how to use bones. They could probably make like a better Strappy model, but I'm just not. This is just going to be a reference, not an actual thing that moves. Anyway, this entire design is kind of inspired by Microwave Dave. Not the lines, but the more blocky look. Anyway, I've yapped on enough. Let's get to the next model. Sacro, a model that can do this. I'm not really going to explain too much about them. They're a very simple model, but they do have bones in them. But that's the only interesting thing about them. Well, it'll be more interesting if I ever get them into an actual game, but like, other than that, they're pretty boring. Anyway, on to the next one. We got the Knight, the character model, the character you play as. This character took like maybe a day, maybe a little bit of 2, I don't really know. Boning is kind of confusing, but yeah, it didn't take too long to make, so you know, it wasn't that bad. But the fingers don't move, and yeah, it's kind of annoying. The game's gonna be in first person, so I'm still trying to figure out how to actually make the model work. Also, you can see the inside of the model if the legs move a little too weird, and that's because I tried to mirror the model but didn't know how it worked, so the model's kind of just in half. You know, it's probably nothing. You know, this model wasn't supposed to be bad, but I accidentally made it so complicated that it took like almost an entire day to make. It was supposed to be just like a blue box with like a white eye or something. Instead, I decided to make it complicated like this. Not even the full model even. It's like the back has its own textures, the wheel have their own textures. Yeah, this was a mistake. I'm happy I made it, but it was a mistake trying to make a simple model. Anyway, let's go into the next one. Here's the last model I'm going to show you here's the last model I'm going to show you today. The Trapped. Basically the only model I put in the game other than the player model, which yeah, Probably wasn't a good idea. It's supposed to be a simple monster with 0 bones, no animations, just supposed to chase you. That didn't work out, like, at all. So now on to the horrors of Unity. Anyway, that's basically all my models. Well, all the models I'm going to show right now. Here are some photos of the rest, just because I'm kind of lazy. Anyway, we'll be back at it again soon, hopefully with a functioning game. I also make sure to put like good Unity tutorials in the description, just so I can get better at this.